Good evening, and welcome once again to the Shadow Gallery. I am, as always, your host, James Donnelly, and tonight we're going to experience a whole new event together, which will be, well, this version of New Comics Re-Bitches! So it's Re-Bitches, like reboot or renumbering. Because, yes, this particular episode and episodes like it will be dealing with, specifically, the DC New 52. Because tonight, of course, we had the big midnight rollout of Justice League #1, the flagship title of the new DCU, or the New 52, I should say. And since I am going to be getting all 52 issues of the DC relaunch, some which I'm very excited about, some which I'm not so excited about, basically anything written by Scott Snyder and anything written by Gail Simone, I'm very excited about. Most everything else, I'm excited for Paul Cornell's Demon Knights. I don't know. There's some other stuff that I'm just kind of excited for. But anywho, so moving along. Honestly, most of the Bat titles, especially Batwoman, because I've really missed Batwoman. Anyway, this is Justice League okay, we're going to deal with Flashpoint #5 and Justice League #1. Okay. Because both of them are, because it's day and date release now digitally, so I have the hard copy of both of these coming, but got the digital copies as well. So Flashpoint #5, let's start with that first. It's a very anticlimactic ending to a very anticlimactic series. And that's basically, that's its main problem, is that it should have been kind of, the end-all be-all of DC as far as its major events, because this is all leading up to it. But you really have the sense that, Jeff Johns, and Dan Didio, and, all the suits over at DC and at Time Warner, they really made it their mission to see that, okay, the comic book industry is kind of floundering right now. We need to breathe new life into it. So let's do, this new, so they come up with this New 52 idea, but they've got to do something in order to kind of link it together, in order to, to pave the way for that. So they cranked out this Flashpoint. I do not believe at all that this was something that Jeff Johns or anybody was planning for a really long time. I think this was kind of an emergency meeting. Let's call everybody in and get it out there, because everything about Flashpoint felt rushed, with the exception of a couple of the tie-in series, like Batman: Night of Vengeance, that didn't feel rushed. Project Superman didn't feel terribly rushed, but more than anything, it's a lot of kind of not big name writers and really not big name artists on most of these issues, except for on a lot of these tie-ins, I should say. Not really big creative teams, except with the exception of Night of Vengeance, because that's Azzarello and Rizzo. So anyway. Justice League #1 basically takes us to, Flashpoint #5. As revealed in the final page of Flashpoint #4, basically, Eobard Thawne, the Reverse Flash, Professor Zoom, whatever you want to call him, he's there standing over Barry, and, he's saying, "Look what you did." And basically, this issue goes on to reveal, okay, this whole world that Barry is existing in right now is the product of what Barry has done. When he went back in time to save his mother. He went back in time to save his mother from the Reverse Flash, from Thawne, he changed history. It changed everything. And so yes, all of the misery and suffering, all the millions that have died, this is all Barry's fault. Batman is there. He's kind of helping out. All hell is breaking loose around them. Everything's starting to go to shit. Basically, Thawne departs from this world again. I don't know how many times he's been killed now. It seems like it's been at least like 3 or 4. But he, is dispatched via a little bit of wisdom from Batman before he dies. And I'm going to spoil things, so spoiler alert. If you don't want to hear it, maybe you shouldn't be hearing it right now. But yes, Barry does, basically he goes into, he figures out how he can the only way that he can fix this is to stop himself from going back and stopping his mother's murder. So he does exactly that. He gets to the cosmic treadmill, he finds himself and stops himself from going back in time. But before that, he's given a letter from Thomas Wayne to give to Bruce if he can fix things. And that's basically where the issue ends up. But it does give hints as to the New 52. How it's kind of split off into these 3 regions of heroes. And it's like, Stormwatch and, like Wildstorm universe and, the main DC universe, so on and so forth. And where the final scene between Barry and Bruce Wayne could have been very emotionally strong and powerful, is turned into it's not a very Batman or Bruce-esque moment, and that really soured me on it. It was just like, no, this is not the way they should have ended things. As far as between these two, this is not. I don't see I don't see Bruce Wayne behaving this way. Maybe a lot younger Bruce, but not this Bruce. After everything that he's done and everything that he's been through. So, again, Flashpoint, I would say, not a complete failure of a series, but for the most part, it didn't do much of anything for me. The second issue I thought was pretty cool, and that's really the only issue that I thought was really kind of worth anything. Kubert's artwork looks great, as always, but that was the only highlight of the series to me. So on to Justice League number 1. Here is basically, okay, now it prefaces itself by saying, okay, this is 5 years in the past. And it begins with Batman being pursued by the Gotham police while he's chasing after this other whatever. We don't even know what it is. The art by Jim Lee, and this is his first time drawing an entire issue in quite a few years, is gorgeous. It looks great. It looks fantastic. And then Green Lantern shows up in Gotham to kind of help. And there's a lot of the kind of the young Hal, I'm a kind of a dick, I can do anything, attitude. And then there's, a great moment where Batman pulls off his ring. And it has a nice kind of, adversarial exchange. And and they're talking about this guy Superman in Metropolis, who's apparently really strong, and this alien, the extraterrestrial that brought Green Lantern to Gotham, is, I don't know if he's like a new design of Parademon or something like that, but he's planting a mother box in the sewers of Gotham City. Why he would want to do it there, I have no idea. We know it's a mother box. They don't. They plan to talk to Superman. On the way there, they fly over wherever the hell Vic Stone is from. And this definitely, I think where this, at least this first arc is probably heading, this is more going to be the story of how Cyborg comes to be and then comes to be part of the Justice League. So again, this is not really making a whole lot of sense to me because, okay, you have, as far as the lineup is concerned, you have Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, so you've got the Holy Trinity right there. You got Flash, Green Lantern, you've got Aquaman, and you've got Cyborg. So when I first saw this lineup, I was a little like, there's something missing. But it wasn't something, it was somebody. And that's Martian Manhunter. I mean, he's been in every incarnation of the League. In every single one since it was created back in the late 50s, early 60s, whenever exactly it was. So, I mean, even the shitty years, Martian Manhunter has been part of the League. So the fact that he's not there in this kind of opening lineup is kind of a slap in the face, really. Because I love Martian Manhunter. I think he's a really cool character. But whatever. This, everything is going to be kind of like what it seems to be is this seems to be heading in the direction of, okay, this kind of be the Vic Stone story. Like I said before, because most of the kind of like the B story seems to be about him and how he's, a big football hero at his high school, and everybody wants to, get him to go to their college, and they're offering scholarships, and his dad's not around, but his dad apparently studies metahumans. This is going to be, I have a feeling that throughout this series we're going to have, while these characters are being introduced to one another, we're going to get a lot of these meet cute, fight cute scenarios where it's going to be, here, we had already in this issue, we have meet cute, fight cute between Batman and Green Lantern. And now next issue looks like it's going to be meet cute, fight cute between Superman and Batman. Although it probably won't be quite as cute because it's, it's Superman versus Batman. But it's still going to have that same kind of mentality to it where it's like, okay, we're not adversaries, we're really, just two guys that don't really understand each other. All that macho, bullshit. I think that Jeff Johns is starting this the wrong way. I think they should have endeavored to set it now as opposed to, kind of rebooting this to, which is what it is. Let's call a spade a spade. This is a reboot or a retcon of the Justice League. It does not, there's no Starro the Conqueror. There's no, there's no Martian Manhunter. So, I mean, right there, you've lost a big element of what this should be. And again, it's doing its damnedest to make this an edgy reboot. The best incarnation, in my opinion, that has ever been of Justice League was when Giffen and DeMatteis and Kevin Maguire did it back in the 80s, in the mid to late 80s, when they did the kind of funny action, the action comedy Justice League. That's been my favorite so far. So I don't know, we'll see. But a pretty inauspicious start. Again, art looks great though. So that's it for this one. We'll be re-bitches later on. See you later.